It's not like the US withdrawal from the INF deal caught anyone by surprise. Washington's been looking for the exit for a long time. Russia has repeatedly tried to steer this Titanic of a relationship away from its iceberg.
For many years, we have proposed disarmament talks, but our initiatives have not found the support of our partners. In fact, they always find pretexts for dismantling the global security system.
But this week, everything crashed and burned and went to kingdom come. The time for talk was over.
Our American partners said they were suspending their participation in the INF treaty, and we will suspend ours also. They announced they were conducting research and development, and we will do the same. I've asked our foreign and defense ministries to keep their doors open for dialogue, but also not to initiate any talks on the issue.
Why? Well, one last time, America's top diplomat threw a barrage of accusations at Russia for violating the INF deal without a shred of proof.
Russia has violated Russia's violation. Russia shamelessly violates it. Russians are in violation of the agreement.
Now, officially, the US has a problem with this missile, NATO classified as SSC-8. Russia says that it's in full compliance with the INF treaty. But Washington chucked Russia's arguments out of the window.
The United States and most of our NATO allies did not attend this briefing, as we all saw it for what it was. Another attempt to obfuscate the violation and give the appearance of transparency.
It was like a bottomless cup as the allegations kept pouring, culminating in America's withdrawal. So now Moscow's done with being cooperative and all. Actually, it says the US is no saint.
Since 2014, the US has deployed in Europe its Mk-41 missile launchers, which are suitable for American Tomahawk missiles, which is a direct violation of the treaty. These missile launchers are based in Romania and are ready to be constructed in Poland.
Russia's defense ministry says in the past 2 years, the US expanded its key missile factory in Tucson across the board. It swelled in size and hired some 2,000 new employees. Moreover, the Pentagon's defense budget for this year, passed last spring and drawn up even earlier, had already calculated the scenario currently being played out. And this week, Donald Trump revealed the chapters to come.
We will move forward with developing our own military response options and will work with NATO and other allies and partners to deny Russia any military advantage from its unlawful conduct.
Russia, though, has an ace or two up its sleeve, like the brand new missiles it unveiled last year, including hypersonic weapons. Even the US admitted it has no counter for. And Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu says there's more where that came from.
We suggest starting work on adapting Russia's Caliber missile launch systems from maritime to land-based ones. We also suggest beginning work on a new land-based hypervelocity ballistic missile of short to medium range.
Yet at the same time, Moscow says it's never been driven by the offensive potential of its weapons. It's all about parity. Essentially, Russia points to the fact that America's somehow been defending against the Iran and North Korea threats by massing missiles on Russia's border. And no one likes to be surrounded by the military of a state that openly calls you an adversary. And still, Moscow leaves the door ajar. Despite everything, the new arms race doesn't have to begin, it says. Russia has promised not to deploy any missiles in Europe first. But if the US chooses to set this in motion, well, two can play that game.
Igor Zhdanov reporting there. Well, the suspension of the INF treaty has provoked reaction worldwide, with some EU politicians now voicing their concern that Europe could become a battleground for rival powers.
We definitely don't want to see is our continent going back to being a battlefield or a place where other superpowers confront themselves.
So we must prepare for a world without the INF treaty.
There is a need for dialogue with Russia. For our part, the German foreign minister and I will do everything to pave the way for talks within the 6-month period. Apart from that, NATO will thoroughly assess what the US withdrawal would mean. It is important to keep the window for dialogue open.
I don't think the United States really engages in diplomacy anymore, and we really haven't for several decades, since the Soviet Union went out of business in 1991, and we thought it was our right to establish our dominion over the entire planet. I don't think they really care what the Russians have to say. I think what they're really interested in is gaining military superiority over Russia, over China as well, and that these treaties simply get in the way.